The monarchy thrives on the image of relentless duty, of calendars packed with engagements that symbolize service, tradition, and responsibility. For decades, the Windsor name has been synonymous with an almost sacred dedication to work. Princess Anne is celebrated as a machine, carrying out multiple engagements a day. Queen Elizabeth II famously worked into her 90s, her red dispatch boxes and diary never empty. King Charles, despite age and health battles, continues to fulfill his duties. But now, eagle-eyed royal watchers have spotted something that has sparked outrage and mockery in equal measure. The official diary of Prince William, the heir to the throne, is blank. Completely blank. For 2 whole weeks. And the timing of this silence could not be more awkward. It comes just days after his estranged brother Prince Harry left the UK, following a highly publicized reunion with their father. The contrast is striking. When Harry was in Britain, William's diary appeared full, a convenient shield against any possible meeting with his younger brother. He was photographed, scheduled, busy, present. But now, with Harry gone, the diary has mysteriously emptied. Nothing scheduled. No charity visits. No ribbon cuttings. No speeches. No engagements of any kind. For critics, it looks like the clearest signal yet that William deliberately avoided Harry, filling his calendar only to slam the door on reconciliation, and then retreating into silence once the danger of a meeting had passed. Social media erupted the moment screenshots of the official royal diary began circulating. When you search up William's engagements for this week and the next, one user wrote, "And there is nothing there." Another commented with biting sarcasm, "But of course his full diary when Harry was in town was just a coincidence." The comments piled up, some mocking, others furious. "Harry's gone, no need to work," wrote one fan of the Duke of Sussex. Another observer noted bluntly, "He only did a few because Harry was in town, period." The optics, as one commenter sharply observed, are terrible. For years, William has cultivated the image of the dutiful prince, preparing for kingship by taking on more engagements, supporting causes, representing the crown. But the idea that he would artificially load his calendar during Harry's visit, only to let it sit empty for weeks afterward, plays directly into criticism that the future king is more concerned with avoiding his brother than with fulfilling his duties. Even those sympathetic to William admit the silence looks odd. One fan tried to defend him, suggesting health might be a factor. For all the public knows he could have health problems. Remember what a flap it was when Kate had hers. Not telling is easier to deal with. Still, the comparisons are brutal. Princess Anne, the eternal workhorse, is doing multiple engagements a day. One observer dryly noted, "The Princess Royal is doing multiple engagements a day. What a machine. Pity she wasn't the eldest child." It is a line that cuts deep, because the contrast is undeniable. Anne's calendar never seems to stop. William's, by contrast, now looks eerily bare. Adding to the tension is the backdrop of Donald and Melania Trump's recent state visit, which consumed 6 days of the Prince and Princess of Wales's time. They were photographed greeting the Trumps from a helicopter, dining at Windsor, and attending the glittering state banquet. Those were days of pomp, glamour, and heavy protocol. But the suspicion that William deliberately stacked his diary during Harry's visit to avoid any possible encounter hangs heavy. Critics argue the diary is now resting, because its purpose has been served, to keep Harry out. The wound between the brothers remains raw. Since Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, William and Harry have not spoken. The rift deepened with the release of Harry's memoir Spare, in which he accused his brother of physically attacking him and revealed intimate, painful details about family life. Harry complained of the coldness of the royal household, claiming he'd never hugged his grandmother, and that his father did not embrace him even after the death of Princess Diana. William, painted as aloof and explosive, was humiliated in print. For him, trust was shattered. His wife Catherine was also dragged into the book, with Meghan Markle describing Kate as recoiling from a hug, a detail that made headlines around the world. Against that backdrop, William's determination to avoid his brother is understandable, but optics matter. Harry reunited with their father King Charles, sharing tea at Clarence's house in what was described as a great meeting. It was their first private encounter in 19 months, a fragile step toward reconciliation. For William to have no meeting at all, and now no engagements scheduled, reinforces the narrative of a prince hiding rather than leading. The irony is that Harry, often accused of abandoning duty, has filled his own diary with charitable causes and international projects. His recent UK visit included the Wellchild Awards, a trip to Nottingham to visit the community recording studio, and an appearance at the Diana Award. He even announced a significant personal donation to charity. From there, he traveled to Kiev, meeting wounded soldiers and insisting he wanted to do everything possible to help recovery. His conscience, he declared in interviews, was clear. Whatever one thinks of Harry, his calendar looks active. William's, by contrast, now looks like an empty page. The narrative has already hardened. For supporters of Harry, William's empty diary is proof of avoidance, pettiness, and laziness. For defenders of William, it is either coincidence, a matter of private health, or simply the natural lull after a state visit. But in the world of royal perception, coincidences rarely exist. Everything is watched, everything is interpreted, everything is judged. A blank diary in such a charged moment becomes a symbol of estrangement, of avoidance, of fragility in the monarchy's future. And the commentary has not been kind. The optics aren't great that William only packed his schedule while Harry was around, one observer noted, before adding wryly, but, to be fair, if I had to endure that state visit, I'd need at least a month to recover. It is a joke, but with a sharp edge. Because the monarchy cannot afford months of recovery. In a world of constant media scrutiny, in a monarchy trying to project stability, after the passing of Elizabeth II, the heir cannot afford to disappear. For King Charles, the situation is delicate. His relationship with Harry is tentatively rebuilding. His relationship with William, his anchor, is essential. But the narrative of one son working while the other hides, of one son reconciling while the other stonewalls, is a dangerous one. It fuels the perception of division, of a fractured royal household unable to function as a united front. In the end, the empty diary is more than just a calendar glitch. It is a mirror reflecting the fractured state of the monarchy. It shows the shadow cast by the feud between brothers, the weight of past revelations, and the danger of silence. For William, every blank page will now be read as avoidance. For Harry, every handshake and speech will be read as contrast. And for the monarchy itself, the question remains: how long can an institution built on the illusion of unbroken duty afford to have its future king appear idle, absent, and unwilling to meet his brother? What began as a screenshot of a calendar has become another symbol of the Windsor crisis. The blank diary is no longer just a schedule. It is a story, one that speaks louder than any engagement, and one that William will not easily escape.